India is home to 20% of the world's blind population. That is, 40 million of blind people stay in India. Though their daily lives is very difficult for them, technology has made lives easier for them. But still, they suffer when it comes to sensitive information like passwords or bank details, and they have to rely on their helpers for entering this sensitive data. Many of the times it gets misused, and thus it is a security threat for them. Our product helps to solve this issue by creating an EEG based system where the user thinks their password or any sensitive information in the form of Morse code, and our product captures it and converts it into appropriate text and inputs it, thus limiting the data just to the user himself, and thus we are protecting his privacy. So, moving on to the pricing details for our product. We plan to sell our product for $35, that is 265 rupees. Note that for evaluation purposes, we received an EEG kit from TI at $200. But for a commercial product, we plan to assemble our hardware components. And the breakdown for cost for these components is as follows. Resistors for 15 rupees. 1 kilo ohm potentiometer for 30 rupees. Capacitors for 150 rupees. General purpose instrumentation amplifier, that is INA 129 for approximately 820 rupees. An operational amplifier, that is TL084CN, and we require 2 of these, so 80 rupees. 9 volt batteries for 50 rupees and 50 rupees for additional wiring, and 1240 rupees for electrodes and the associated wires. So this sums up to rupees 2438, that is $35. Moving on to product differentiation. Our product stands apart from other products because it presents a unique solution to our problem. The existing solutions for blind people include text-to-speech, which is not recommended in such a scenario because it is so easy to steal information from that process. Another approach is braille-based system, but it is very expensive when it comes to digital content, and the interconversion process is also difficult. Also, not many people understand braille, so that is a very limited approach. Our next section is the product awareness section. According to WHO, there are 285 million visually impaired people living today, giving us a huge customer base. So adaptation of our product is going to be fairly easy once the customer understands this. When we think of a word, we do not think in terms of characters or syllables, but as terms of images. And the interpretation of words is different for every person. That is why it is necessary to use an intermediate representation, which we are using in terms of Morse code. Now, Morse code is very easy to understand and is still widely used in the US Navy. But turning our product to a venture is going to be a difficult task, since there are several blockers. The first one being understanding the scope of this project completely. And second of all, the customer needs to memorize Morse code or at least refer the sheet at the start while inputting the characters in terms of letters and numbers. Moving on to the distribution strategy. We plan to sell our product initially with the help of government and NGOs by opening a center, which we will call T2T center, and in this will be like an ATM where the blind people can come and use our product to input some password or open their email or enters or check some banking information. This is to test our product, gather data, and as well as making it popular. Then the sales can be done online on e-commerce websites. Moving on to customer validation. Since our customer refused to be on camera, we have recorded the transcripts of our conversation with him, and our teammate plays the role of a customer. Here we go. What is your name?
I am Sumit Chauhan.
How many times a week do you wish to use a computer or a smartphone?
I do use my smartphone more than few times per day to make calls.
So what are the problems faced when you use a computer or a smartphone?
I have issues while typing things. The talkback itself are quite an exercise to send messages, although I prefer calls over text messages.
How safe do you think it is to share confidential information like your passwords or your bank details?
It's a matter of trust. I don't mind keeping sensitive information with my family members, but I don't share these with anyone else except the circle.
Okay. Do you feel that there should be another way of doing this task?
I wish there was an efficient way of entering sensitive information. That being said, depending less on others makes me more comfortable. I don't feel good to ask help from others.
Okay. So what do you do when you want to use a computer or a smartphone and your caretaker isn't immediately around you?
I don't particularly need a caretaker for me to use my smartphone.
Okay. What do you think of our product Think to Type?
I feel it's worth trying and I sincerely appreciate the thought for making the product.
Do you think our product will prove to be a better solution than the current system?
As of now, I don't think there is a better way of entering sensitive information other than relying on others to help me. It's a unique solution.
So how much are you willing to pay for such a product?
I cannot spend much, but I would definitely consider investing if the product is under 2000.
Okay, so we need the user to use Morse code to use our product. Are you willing to learn it?
I wouldn't hesitate to learn a new language if it solves my problem.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for keeping a patient ear. That is all from our side with respect to our business aspect.